All right, so we are going to take some time to go through the syllabus here. So this is our syllabus for our Bio 110 Cell Biology Basics for this summer class. My name is Brandis Hubbard. This is my email address here, the bahubbard@sc4.edu. I put this on here just so that if you have to use it, then you can, but I do prefer that you email me via the Canvas app or the Canvas website. And we'll talk about that in just a moment, but if you email me through the Canvas website, then that way it keeps track of our back and forth very easily. I can just bring it up underneath each individual person, and then that way we can have record of it. We can go back and we can make sure that everything was addressed. So I do have this up here if that's not available to you at the time that you need to contact me. My office location is CEM 206. I will not have any office hours in person at that location during the summer. So online, I'm available via email, through the Canvas app, or through the Canvas website, as well as Skype. If we want to do a video conference on Skype, we can do that, or just a voice conference or a text, and then also text via a Remind app. I'll talk about that in just a moment. So you can get a hold of me. I will not be in my physical location in my office on campus, but I'm available online and via text. Again, my conference hours here, so office hours or conference hours, they're by appointment. So again, I won't be in my office at during any scheduled hours during the summer, but if you want to have some sort of type of office hour arrangement, we can do that via text. We can just text back and forth if that helps on Remind, or we can just do this through Skype. We can schedule a time, we can sit down, and we can talk about whatever you need to talk about. This is my office phone and voicemail, so the 810-989-5611. I do get my voicemails sent to my phone through my email, so I can get those. However, again, I won't be in my office to answer the phone, so the best way to get a hold of me is either via text through the Remind app or via email. So then here we are at the Remind app. This is a texting service. The way this works is you can download it at remind.com to have this on a computer, or you can go to your app store or the Google store and download it for Android or for iPhone or Apple. And you can download this app, and then the way this works is it protects our personal information. So you can have this on the phone, and then you can just go to our class and you can text me. It doesn't share your phone number with me, and it doesn't share my phone number with you, but it's just like a regular texting. It comes through the text messages, or it can come through the Remind app specifically, and you can choose to keep that separate or have those combined. I found that this is really, really helpful. This is basically how I have communicated with students the last several semesters, and it works really well. I'm able to get back to people relatively quickly. You can also send images just like you can through regular text message. So as you're working on something, you can take a picture of your notes or the screen that you're looking at, or whatever the case may be, and then you can send that to me very easily. I do have here, once it's downloaded, the easy setup for smartphones, so you can download the Remind app, and then all you have to do is send a text just through your regular messenger to 81010, and then put the message just at BIO110SUM, which is the Bio 110 summer session. So if you just send that text, you'll automatically be put into our class for the Bio 110 summer session. This is important. We'll talk about this in the general information section of the Canvas in that video, if you haven't already watched that. But it's important that you add yourself to the Remind class on remind.com or through your phone. And that's because if something changes, I will send out an announcement on Canvas, but I will also send out an announcement through the Remind app to make sure that everybody gets a hold of that. So you do need to be in that class, and it does need to be in our Bio 110 summer classroom on Remind. Next, I have my Skype address, which is just Brandis Hubbard. And then contact me, I've already pretty much covered this, but text or email is the best way to get in touch with me. So texting me through the Remind app on your smartphone or computer, or emailing me via Canvas. Again, I do check my phone several times a day, and I'll respond relatively quickly. It depends on what is happening. Of course, it's summertime. I might or might not be available at that time. There are areas where I don't get really good cell service, but I will get back to you as soon as possible. Our class time, it's online class. It's fully online. We don't have any in-person classes at all, not even exams of any kind, including the final. So everything is online, and these are the dates. So starting on the 14th, Monday, you're probably watching this today on the 14th, and then going up until June 22nd, which is a Friday. So when we look at the course schedule, all of our items will be due on the Sunday of each week except for that last week, because it doesn't go through Sunday, it only goes through Friday, and we'll take a closer look at that, but just be aware of that. Our description here, the Bio 110 Cell Basics, this just comes from the SC4 courses. Provides you with a foundation in cell biology that's necessary to understand the structure and function of the human body. So we will go over things like basic chemistry, organic chemistry, cell structure and function. We'll go over genetics, and then we'll also talk about some human body systems that last week. So this is also a course that talks about how to learn and how to use study strategy. So there's going to be some study skills that are associated with it as well. There aren't any prerequisites for this course, and it's just a lecture course only, so there's no laboratory portion. The objectives here, after completing this course, you'll be able to do these various things. These are directly from the college. So explain the principles of chemistry, how they apply to biology. That's what we're doing, just a bit of chemistry here. The atomic and molecular structure, properties of water, describing the structure and explaining the functions of carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, nucleic acids. Those are organic molecules. Explain the function of the organelles in a representative human cell, including regulation of membrane transport. So that's talking about cell function, cell structure and function. Describe and compare important cellular processes, including transcription, translation. These are the different processes that happen within a cell: aerobic, anaerobic respiration, mitosis, and meiosis. Summarize the basic principles of Mendelian and non-Mendelian inheritance. So that's our genetics piece. And then identifying the major components and functions of human organ systems. We'll be taking kind of a survey or a kind of a glance over of all of the different human organ systems. And then, as I had mentioned, the use of effective study techniques. So that's a piece to this course as well. Textbooks. I do not require any textbooks at all for this class. I like it to be a zero cost class, meaning that you don't have to buy anything extra for this class. So you don't have to purchase a textbook. I don't want you to purchase any large textbook unless you choose to. So there's an optional text here. The OpenStax Concepts of Biology is available. It's a free download. It's an open text. It's an ebook, e-text. You can go to that link there, the openstax.org, Concepts of Biology. Or if you do choose to have a print copy, you can get it available at the bookstore, or you can order it on Amazon.com. I'm not sure exactly how much this text is. I didn't look specifically recently. I do know that the other anatomy and physiology text that I've used is about $50, so probably that or less for this text. Another optional resource is this visual analogy guide to chemistry. If chemistry is something that's been maybe a little bit difficult for you, or you want to have a little bit more information on it, this is available in print or as an ebook through several vendors. You can take a look. It's at the bookstore available to you. It's kind of a workbook rather than an actual text. And again, I actually won't be referencing either of these texts throughout the course. They're just there if you prefer to have some sort of text in your hand, or some sort of PDF or iBook or whatever you'd like to have in your hand to read. Our course will be based off of videos that I will be posting, lecture videos that you'll be taking notes on. Our course website is on Canvas. That's where you probably access this. That's where I will be posting all of our required assignments and any optional materials, so any extra credit or any helpful or additional resources. We will be turning in assignments through Canvas as well, so I won't be, again, collecting anything in person. Everything will be online. There are computers in the library. If you do not have a computer or internet access at home, we will be using Canvas and email frequently in this class. So basically, from the beginning of the class all the way to the end, we'll be using Canvas and email every day. So it's important that you check our Canvas course and your SC4 email, also within Canvas regularly, in order to do well. So the Canvas course, I will have you sign up for. There's a required section where you have to sign up for subscriptions and notifications. And that is important because, again, I can post announcements on there that need to get out to the entire class about due dates or various items that need to be fixed or changed or anything like that. So it is important that you're checking in with the Canvas course and with your email very regularly during this class. It is a summer class. It's very condensed, 6 weeks compared to 16. So it's important that you are paying close attention to what's happening, because things can change very quickly, because in 6 weeks what we're really looking at is like a day is close to a week in regular semester time. Please go online during the first week of classes or before, so the first couple of days here, and send me an email through Canvas. So you are required to do this. Send me an email through Canvas, not just at your regular email through the portal and then typing in my email. You need to actually go through Canvas and then go to the inbox in Canvas and click on the leaf. I think they changed that logo now. To create an actual brand new email and then have me in there and send that to me through email or through Canvas. That allows me to know that you know how to access the email in Canvas, but it also tells me that you know how to access Canvas. So that's important for me to know. If you have issues with that, please contact the IT help desk here. So your student email, if you're trying to sign into Canvas, is your username at student.sc4.edu. If you have not accessed Canvas before, you want to click on that. You're going to have to set up a password, and then you can get into that. But again, you can contact the IT help desk in order to assist with that. I have some information here on disability support services. So if you have a disability that interferes with your ability to succeed in this class, please do contact the Achievement Center. That contact information is there, the B100 College Center. There's their phone number and their email. And then you can go to them if you feel like you need some sort of assistance, and you can discuss the appropriate accommodations. It's confidential. I do recommend that you do this very, very soon. Again, this is a summer course, which is very quick. So you need to do this within the first couple days. If you do, then perhaps you will be awarded more time on exams. So this is important. If you do have some sort of disability, to contact them, to go there, discuss accommodations, discuss changes that can be made, and then perhaps you will get more time on exams. So it's important that you do this prior to the first exam. If you do not, I will not allow any retake or any makeup of the first exam, even if you do talk to Disability Support Services after that first exam. You may get access to more time after that first exam, but that will not change the first exam if you do not contact them ahead of time. Student conduct, please see the SC4's Code of Conduct on the portal for details. So all students are required to be aware of and abide by the St. Clair County Community College's Student Code of Conduct, and there's a link there for you. I'm not going to go through all of the Code of Conduct. A lot of it is related to things on campus, but a lot of those things can be applied to the online as well. So it's your responsibility to know those things. And if something does happen, and I can reference the Student Code of Conduct saying that that's not appropriate for the class, hopefully you are already aware of those things so that you can look at those expectations. 2, this is related to plagiarism. So work you submit must be your own. Copying answers is considered cheating, so copying from other students. If I see any answers that are similar to another student's, they'll automatically be flagged. Copying anything from a textbook, so word for word from any textbook or anything online, websites, or anything else that is not your own work. So I will go through and check for plagiarism. I will see whether or not sentences are word for word from different websites, word for word comparatively to another student from textbooks, and if there's cheating of any kind, that will result in a 0 on the assignment. So if your words are like a textbook or a website or another student's, then you and that other student, if that's the case, will receive a 0 on the assignment. Cannot be made up. After that first time, so you will receive a 0 on the assignment and then a warning. After that, if that happens again, then it will be reported to the college. So it will be reported on the permanent SC4 record. You will receive a 0 on that second item, and then perhaps further academic repercussions. So depending on the severity of the offense, up to and including failure of the entire course. So please don't do it. A 0 earned by cheating cannot be dropped, cannot be replaced, cannot be made up. I do take this very seriously, especially because it's an online course, so it's very easy for people to copy and paste things. So please do make sure that if you are reading things from websites and looking up things, that you really take that information, take the time to assimilate it, make connections in your own brain, and then rewrite this information as you have understood it in your own words. Student resources. So you will need to spend time outside of what would typically be regular class time working on both lecture, not lab material. Sorry about that. Take that out. Here are some of the ways that you can get access to materials outside of our class period time per se. So there is free tutoring available at the Achievement Center in the College Center. You don't have to be a part of Disability Services or anything for this. You can just go there and get free tutoring. 2, Canvas links. I will be putting up additional links and some helpful links. They can take you to tutorials or images and other self-tests. I will have quizzes on there, practice quizzes. The Biology Learning Resources Collection is a collection of models and equipments on reserve at the library for you, so you can go to the library and use those collections. Things like mitosis and meiosis collections that we will be talking about. Extra lab time does not apply here. I could take that out. Conference hours are available, so again, come see me, meaning contact me. Let's see if we can talk over things. If you're not doing as well as you want, talk to me right away, text me, email me. Right at the beginning. Again, it's a very fast-paced summer class, so do it as soon as possible. At the first exam, if you really felt like you should have done better than you did and you want to talk about it or ask questions, please do contact me. So email me or text me with questions at any time. What should I do if I'm struggling in this course? So if you do find yourself struggling in the class, again, come see me as soon as possible, meaning text me, email me as soon as possible. I will work with you to the best of my ability to address these problems that you're having related to the course. I do want you to succeed. That's the goal here. We want to work together to assimilate the information, make sure we all know this information so you can move on to whatever you are going to next. However, perhaps under certain circumstances, it may be in your best interest to withdraw from the course. Again, this is a summer class. It does take a lot of time to cram 16 weeks into 6. So please see me first, but there are times when withdrawing is the best option. And then retaking it at a later date, perhaps in a 16-week semester where it may be a little bit more of a slower pace. Here I have some tips for studying. So I'm not going to actually go through and read all of these. You can read these. There are Canvas practice quizzes. You can take them as many times as you want. I recommend that. Going through your notes, drawing images, things like that. You can go through there. Again, I put the Achievement Center information, so you have access to that. Some tips for exam taking. Again, we are going to be talking about some study skills in this class, but I did put some of them here, just kind of a preliminary. Take a look at this and think about the exams. The course approach. So according to the federal definition of a credit hour, so this is not something that's coming from me or even the college, this is federal level, of a credit hour, students are expected to spend 2 hours outside of class for every hour they spend in class at a minimum. So basically, in order for a class to be considered 3 credit hours, which is what this class is called, or is classified as, 3 credit hours means that for each hour that we're in class, which would typically be about 4 hours per week in a typical 16-week semester, each student should be spending 2 hours. So the amount of work that should be provided to you as extra work outside of the class time should take up to 2 hours. So that includes studying time as well as homework things. And this is to basically say that this class is a legitimate class. It's held up to these expectations federally. So class, I put this in quotes because it's online. So typically class for this 3 credit course would be considered 2 2-hour periods. So it totals 4 hours per week in a regular 16-hour semester, or 16-week semester. Since this class is condensed down to 6 weeks, our quote in class time would be considered to be nearly 10.5 hours per week. So we're taking the 16 weeks down to 6, so it would be about 10.5 hours that we would be sitting in a classroom together. At 2 hours of study time for each hour in class, that means that you would be expected to spend about 21 hours a week outside of class on materials. So if we did meet, it would be about 10.5 hours per week, and I would be giving homework and other assignments to complete that would total about 21 hours outside of those 10.5 hours. So since this is an online class, the in-class time would be included in the total, giving a total time spent per week on this course to be at about 32 hours. It is a lot, nearly a full-time job. It is a summer class. It's 16 weeks crammed into 6. So please do plan your schedules accordingly. I do encourage that you study in study groups, maybe meet up. You can use the discussion boards to contact other students and see if you want to meet up and do some study groups. Also, we have the Biology Learning Resource Collection. As was already mentioned, you can study those models anytime that the library is open. But I do want you to be aware of the fact that if you are spending less than 32 hours per week on this course, that you can expect to get less than a satisfactory grade in the class. Now, that may be completely ludicrous. That may be you could perhaps be spending 20 hours per week on this course or 10 hours per week on this course and be doing just fine. But according to the federal definition, what we would expect to see is about 32 hours per week working on this class during the summer semester. Here we have our tentative course schedule. So the class is split up into the 6 weeks here. We'll look at the table first and then I'll say the words here. So here are our weeks 1 through 6. It's split up into units. So we have our basic chemistry unit, our organic chemistry unit, our cells unit, cell processes unit, genetics unit, and then the body systems is not a complete unit, it's a partial unit. These are the due dates for these units. So split up into 6 weeks, basically 6 units. It's really just 5, and then a partial body systems unit. Each of these, so up here, all work is due on the due date shown by 11:59 p.m. So the reason I'm doing this video for the syllabus, even though I know that all of you can read, is basically for this information right here. All of the work is due on this due date shown by 11:59 p.m. So basically by midnight, about 11:59 p.m., all of the stuff for that unit should be turned in. Now, with the exception of the body systems, this last one, this partial unit, these due dates here are the Sunday of each week. So for units 1 through 5, these are full or complete units. That Sunday, by 11:59 p.m., all of those items are due. The body systems unit, this partial unit, and the final exam are due by Friday, 22nd of June. And that's because this is the last day of the summer semester. So I can't make it be that Sunday because the summer semester ends on that Friday. This is also important. There will be no late work accepted. So nothing. May 20th at 11:59 p.m., everything for basic chemistry, that unit should be turned in. If it's not, then I will not accept it after that date. I'm not going to go through and open up each of these assignments to try to get late work applied. Again, it's very, very quick. I don't have much time to grade these things and get them back. So we're going to have to move through these very quickly, and we're going to have to be held accountable. So I'm holding you accountable for making sure that all of the work is due by that due date. And then you can hold me accountable to make sure that those things get graded timely and that you can take a look at your grade and keep track of your grade throughout the semester, throughout these 6 weeks. So grading, grades are based on points earned from lecture notes, homework assignments, quizzes, study skills assignments, and exams. Those are the 5 things that will be in each of these units. So each of these items will be present in each of the 5 complete units of the class, and then grades will be posted on Canvas throughout the semester so you can keep track of them. So the first one are lecture notes. So the first of the 5 items that will be using or you'll be doing each of the units are the lecture notes. So each week you will watch lecture videos on the unit topic. So the first one is our basic chemistry unit. So you'll watch, in that case, there are 4 videos. You'll watch 4 videos. As you're watching those videos, you'll be taking notes on them. So as you watch them, you'll be taking notes. You can either do this digitally, you could be typing up the notes as you're watching them, or you can handwrite your notes as you're watching them. They should be split up by the videos, so they're split up already, posted on Canvas. So they say Basic Chemistry Part 1, you should write down Basic Chemistry Part 1 and have your notes there. Basic Chemistry Video Part 2 and have your notes for that one. So lecture notes should be comprehensive, so they should cover the entire video, have all of the intricacies and the details that we talk about in the video. And they need to be legible. If I cannot read your handwriting, then you will not receive the points for them. I have to be able to read them in order to give you the points. So each unit's lecture notes are worth 20 points for a total of 100 points for lecture notes. So we have 20 points for your lecture notes, and then we have the completed 5 units, so that's 5 units times 20 points for 100 points for lecture notes. On Canvas, I discuss how to upload your lecture notes. So make sure if you haven't already watched the video introducing you to the course on Canvas that you do that as well. The second thing you'll be graded on are homework assignments. So there are weekly homework assignments based on the material covered in the lecture videos. These activities are to be done individually and without assistance unless otherwise indicated. So again, everything should be your own work. All of these things should be your own work. Each week's homework is worth 10 points for a total of 50 points from homework. So again, 10 points, 5 units, 50 points. Homework must be completed and turned in on time to receive full credit. So again, no late work. Next we have quizzes. So I will be posting practice quizzes. They'll be provided each week. They'll assist you in your understanding the material from the lecture videos, as well as prepare you for the unit exam. So I have multiple quizzes. So for example, again, in the basic chemistry section, which is our first unit, I have the 4 videos, the basic chemistry part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. Then I have quizzes associated with those lecture videos. So there's a quiz for part 1, quiz for part 2, quiz for part 3, quiz for part 4. You can take the practice quizzes as many times as you want. So they're taken through Canvas. You can take them multiple times. The highest score is what will be maintained as the grade for the quiz. So whatever the highest score is out of all of the times that you've taken it prior to the due date will be the score that you get on that quiz. So each unit's quizzes as a whole are worth 20 points for a total of 100 points for quizzes. Our study skills assignments are the next section. So part of this course, again, is to assist you with these basic study skills for college courses. Each unit will have a study skills assignment worth 10 points for a total of 50 points for study skills assignments. So again, 5 units with our 10 points each are going to be 50 points. They are similar to our homework assignments where you'll be completing them. You can type them up, do it digitally, or you can handwrite them and then submit them. Exams. So there are 5 regular exams, so 1 at the end of each unit. So these are our unit exams. The format can include multiple choice, matching, labeling, drawing, short answers, and essay. The exam will be taken digitally through Canvas. Again, no in-person or in-class meetings. There are no makeup exams. You will have access to the entire week's worth of material, including the exam, at the beginning of the week. So if you are going to be gone out of town for the whole second half of that week, then it's your responsibility to make sure that you complete all of the assignments as well as the exam prior to you going out of town if you're not going to be able to access this and do it by that Sunday. So there are no missed exams. They're recorded as 0 points. And due to the cumulative nature of the material, exams may contain questions related to previous sections. Not many of those, with the exception of the final exam, of course. So each unit exam is worth 100 points for a total of 500 exam points. Then lastly, we have the final exam. So there is a required cumulative final exam, so you have to take the final exam in order to pass the class. Otherwise, you will not pass the class. This exam covers material from the whole semester. So it's worth 200 points of your final grade, so it's double a regular unit exam, and it is cumulative, so it will cover everything from the first unit, so the basic chemistry, through organic, through cells, cell processes, genetics, and will include the body systems, which you will have not taken an exam over previously. I did put a little piece in here for extra credit. So each exam may contain a few bonus points. I might add some activities or homework options or Canvas tasks for some extra points. They may not be announced in advance. Maybe something will come up that maybe an article will come out, and so then we'll post some sort of extra credit assignment based on an article that comes out in a journal during our summer semester. I don't know. But I'll post it. I'll make an announcement about it, but it cannot be made up if missed, so no late work. And then finally, our grading summary. So final grades are determined by the percentage of points you earn out of the total number of possible points throughout the semester. Grades will not be curved, so commit yourself for striving for excellence in this class throughout the semester. You're responsible for keeping track of your scores and confirming that they are correct. So I do recommend that you check your score after each exam. Once you take the exam, you'll be able to go into the exam after the due date on Sunday at 11:59. I will have all of the exam answers available. So you can go in there and you can double check and make sure that the score that you, or the answer that you have given, make sure that it's correct. If you see something you're like, I'm not sure, I think that that's marked incorrectly, then you can contact me about it, take a screenshot, send it to me so that I can take a look at that. So any disagreements with your score must be brought to my attention within 2 days of the scores being posted. So on that Sunday, by Tuesday, if you have not contacted me about any discrepancies, about any questions that you have based on any of the quiz questions, your homework, your study skills assignment, your lecture notes, anything at all from that previous week, if you do not contact me by Tuesday, after that, then the score is what the score is. So you want to make sure that you're checking Canvas. You want to make sure that you're checking your practice quizzes to make sure they're the correct answers. You want to make sure you're checking your exams to make sure that those are the correct answers. Sometimes I do make a mistake and I click the wrong answer for something, and then that will be incorrect and it needs to be fixed. So make sure that you're taking a look at those things. This is a table here, kind of the breakdown of the points that we just went through. So the type of assignment here. So first we have our lecture notes for each of our units. They're worth 20 points for each lecture notes batch. The quantity, meaning that we have 5 units, and then that would total 100 points in lecture notes. So then we have our homework assignments, 10 points each, 5 units, 50 points. Quizzes, 20 points each, 5 units. That's 100 points total for that. Our study skills assignments are also 10 points, 5 units, 50 points. Our unit exams, 100 points for those 5 units, 500 points. And then our single final exam worth 200 points. So the number of points we have for the semester is 1,000. So that should make it pretty easy to see where you're at as far as percentages. So you take your final grade is going to be the number of points you have divided by the number of total points. So whatever points you earn at the end of the semester divided by 1,000. And down here is the grade scale. So anything from a 93% to 100% is an A, 90 to 92.9 is an A minus, and on and on. So if you're sitting at some of these pluses and minuses and pluses, you may want to take a close look at things and try to see what you need to earn in order to get up to that next level if you choose to. So this covers our syllabus. If you have any questions on it, make sure that you contact me. You can post questions on the discussion board, the general questions discussion board. That way everybody can see them if there's something that I've missed or a question that you feel like everybody should hear. I use that discussion board similar to if someone were to raise their hand in a classroom, to where everybody can hear the answer and we can have a discussion about it. If it's something specific to you, like I'm going to be out of town this day, can you tell me this? Or something like that. Not that that should matter because you'll have the information for the whole week. But if it's something specific to you personally, you can always text me or email me with that information.